time. I wrote about it in my book. Many people, other people have talked about it. We know where to go look for this stuff, but you don't. So I'm going to prove to you tonight, and this comes from one of our people, one of our investigators who did the research, who came up with this, and has put it in a concise form so that I can now relay this information to you so that you will know exactly what's going on, folks. I know that all of you have wanted to know why public officials are voting to take away our firearms, why we're being propelled into a one-world government that nobody's asked us if we want. Now, if you do want to know why, you listen to this broadcast very carefully, because I'm going to give you a homework assignment right now. You can carry out this homework assignment in your local library, and once you've done it, you will have no doubts whatsoever that the federal bureaucracy, the government seated in Washington, D.C., is full of traitors who sold us down the tubes long, long ago when a 33rd degree Freemason, Harry Truman, literally, with the help of Alger Hiss and others, formed the United Nations, pushed through the United Nations Treaty, pushed through the United Nations Participation Act and signed it into law, and then later established the Disarmament Agency. Harry Truman, acting upon the recommendations of a member of the Knights Templar, Bill Donovan, the head of the OSS, created the National Security umbrella via the National Security Act, created the Central Intelligence Agency and a curtain of secrecy behind which the secret societies could hide and bring this country and every other country in the world to its knees and create the one world government, the utopia that all of these creeps have been looking for throughout the history of the world. I'm going to give you hard proof tonight, but you have to go look for yourself, and if you don't, you're just another sheeple. And if you're just another sheeple, turn off your radio now. Don't bother with me wasting my time telling you this if you're not going to do it. Now, if you do want to know why, go to your local library, folks. No matter where you live in the United States, go to your local library. And remember, if your library is so small they don't have these, there is an interlibrary loan system throughout the United States where any library, no matter where it is, can request and get on loan from another library that has the material, anything that you want. So if your library does not have these references that I'm going to give you, then you ask your librarian to get them through the interlibrary loan system. There is no excuse for you not obtaining these reference books and looking up this information and verifying it for yourselves. No excuse whatsoever except sheeple, procrastination, and absolute irresponsible laziness. You pick which category you're going to fit into: a responsible citizen of your state, someone who wants to save the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, someone who wants to have references, have looked at it yourself, can copy it on a copy machine and show it to others, be responsible, help save this country, or a miserable, miserable sheeple. Now, if you want to be the person that I think you want to be, go to your local library, no matter where you live in the United States, and tell the librarian to show you where the United States code books are shelved. That's the United States Code, and it'll be several volumes, folks. In fact, there are 25 books total in the set. They are reddish brown in color. They are printed by the government printing office in Washington, D.C. They are the official United States Code. This is hard facts. No one can doubt this information. I didn't make it up. And when you see it, you're going to all of a sudden begin to understand. You see, these hard-covered books are printed every 8 to 10 years. They are updated with annual softback supplements each year until a new hardcover issue comes out. Now, when this report was written, the 1982 hardbacks were on the library shelves, and it may be that they've been replaced with the 1992 set. If it is, then look in the 1992 set, because it will have the same information in it. If not, then go to the 1982 set, which should still be in the library, and look it up. Go to volume number 9, folks. Volume number 9. The page numbers are set in the center near the middle binding. The section numbers are along the edges. And the section will have sort of an S with a little loop in the center of the S. So there's no excuse. I'm going to lead you through this by your hand. I'm going to take you just like a kindergarten kid through this, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, but sometimes it has to be done this way because people, by their very nature, are basically lazy. They want somebody else to do it for them. It won't work in this case, folks. You've got to do it yourself. So I'm going to take you by the hand exactly how to do this. You go to your local library. Ask the librarian to show you where the United States code books are shelved. There's no excuse for not getting them. If your library doesn't have them, you can get them through the interlibrary loan system. There are 25 books in the set. They're reddish brown in color. They're printed by the government printing office in Washington, D.C. Okay, folks? Go to volume number 9. The page numbers are set in the center near the middle binding. The section numbers are along the edges. Turn to page 554 if you're looking in the 1982 edition. Page 554. Here you will find Public Law 87-297. That's Public Law 87-297. One more time, because you should be writing all this down. Public Law 87-297, which calls for the United States to, quote, eliminate its armed forces, unquote. Now, this law was signed for the United States in 1961 by John Fitzgerald Kennedy. He signed it, and every president since has worked to enact its provisions. The government knows you will not approve, which is why they want to take away your firearms. Now turn to page 555. That's page 555. Here, folks, you will find the definition of what the government means by, quote, disarmament, unquote. Find it on the lower right-hand side of the page. The disarmament calls for, quote, the elimination of our armed forces, unquote. It also calls for, quote, the elimination of weapons of all kinds, unquote. Now turn to page 557. Page 557. Here you will find it stated as item little a, quote, control, reduction, and elimination of armed forces, unquote, and as item D, quote, elimination of armed forces, unquote. What you need to know is that your armed forces are being eliminated from national control, which in turn wipes out our sovereignty as a nation. In 2 stages we shall have no more Army, no more Navy, and no more Air Force. In the 3rd stage we shall have a 0 military. Now, just before Christmas, on television, a Navy captain standing on the deck of an aircraft carrier being interviewed stated, quote, in the New World Order, we will be your police force, unquote. This law is taught in the War College, the National War College, which Lieutenant Colonel James Boatwright attended. It is taught that our Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines will be slowly eliminated and turned over to the United